Elon Musk insists he's restricting Ukraine's access to Starlink because Zelensky could start World War III. Famously, when this whole stuff was happening, which seems like a lifetime ago at this point, even more so for anybody involved in that conflict, initially they were just shipping all types of Starlink over there. And Elon was like, okay, no problem. You got to be connected, whatever. We'll see what we can do. And it was all types of equipment that was showing up and keeping those forces connected and in communication. And that's huge in any kind of military scenario. Communications, as you imagine, Will. It lets you know where and when an attack might be coming. It lets you create a kind of, what would you say, traps and...
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying here? You got to have communication up and running or you're at a huge disadvantage. So when the communication went down, they were extremely limited, and Elon comes in and goes, all right, I'll help you out.
Starlink activated.
Starlink is on its way. But then more recently, he's become vocal about, like, hey, we got to shut this thing down. We got to, I mean, the war in general. He's been like that there's an increased risk of the thing turning into a world war, and that he's become a lot more critical in general.
And using Starlink as some sort of like enabler.
Well,
maybe
exactly. That Starlink would be in any way connected,
affiliated to this potential World War III.
So apparently, and I don't even know how you do something like this, but apparently what has been done with Starlink now is to restrict its ability in a very specific way, to restrict its ability to strike a target within Russia. That would be the key line to be crossed. Do you understand what I'm saying? He will disable satellite broadband use for any potential strike on Russian soil. He doesn't want it to go the other way. He's like, defending yourself is one thing. You go and then attack that soil and escalate the situation. But I don't even know, does he mean he's going to shut it down completely if the strike takes place? Or can you actually
control
like
the strikes?
This seems complex. His specific worry is that his satellite-based broadband provider could be used to mount long-range drone strikes in Russian territory that might herald a new, more horrific phase of the war. In early December, Kyiv hit 2 targets hundreds of miles from its border, a politically controversial issue that some argue could transform a war of liberation into an offensive one. We will not enable escalation of conflict that may lead to World War III. This is what Musk posted on Sunday. And then Russia, on their end, also threatened to shoot down Musk's Starlink satellites in low Earth orbit. They're like, we'll just pop those ones out of the sky. It's pretty wild. So anyway, I guess there's a way to do this. I don't know if it would be preemptive or after the fact, but he's made his position known on this. You can't go get